First, we need to prepare the materials and accessories we need. Then we need to take out the threads from the center of the yarn, not the side. Before crocheting, we also need to learn the basic way to start the stitches. First, we need to imitate the method in the video to create a wire knot first. Note that the knot does not need to be tightened too much. When it is done, it needs to be the same as in the video, only the shorter end of the yarn can be pulled, the longer end of the yarn cannot be pulled. This is the correct knot. Then follow the video to learn the correct way to hold the crochet hook. Then put the crochet hook through the knot you just made and tighten the loop. You need to be careful not to tighten it too much here either. Finally, we will follow the video to learn how the yarn is wrapped around the hand. Then we need to crochet 2 thread knots, called chain stitch. At this point, you need to watch carefully how the crochet hook is wrapped around the yarn. Then hook the wound yarn out of the loop you just made. When finished, you will find an opening similar to a V shape. Next, you need to learn how to control the size of the V-hole with your fingers. To make crocheting easier and more beautiful, we usually need to crochet the V-hole size the same size. So now we crochet the second knot, and we need to control it with our fingers to make the V-shaped hole as big as the first one. After crocheting, you now have 2 V-shaped openings. This way we learn the basic way of starting the needle. Next we learn the first very common crochet stitch called single crochet, which we abbreviate as SC. Before we start crocheting, we need to control the size of this loop on top of the crochet hook to the same size as the 2 V's we just crocheted. Then you need to pass the crochet hook through the first V opening and then hook the yarn with the crochet hook and crochet out this V opening. Then learn the method in the video and use your fingers and crochet hook to control the size of the 2 loops to the same size as well. Finally, we hook the yarn again and pass it through both loops. This completes 1 crochet of the SC stitch. You need to notice that after each time we crochet a SC stitch, there will be a V shape on its side. One important point to remember here is that we need to mark the first V in each loop with a paper clip in order to easily find where to start crocheting in the next loop. Then the first loop needs to be crocheted a total of 6 SC stitches, and now it's crocheted once, so we need to continue crocheting 5 more SC stitches. You can also check the stitch shorthand tips in the upper right corner of the video. The small icon on the left represents the loop being crocheted in the video, and the number inside the brackets on the right represents how many V's there should be after this loop is crocheted. Now crochet 2 SC stitches, so there are 2 V's in total. It is important to note that you should count the number of corresponding V's after each crochet loop to see if they are correct. If you find that the hole in the middle is too big after crocheting, it will affect the beauty of the product, so we need to tighten the extra yarn on the back, and the hole will automatically become smaller. This way we have finished crocheting the first loop. Then continue to follow the video to crochet the second loop. We need to crochet the SC stitch twice first. Next we will learn the second very common crochet stitch called increase stitch, which we abbreviate as ink. However, the ink stitch is a crochet of 2 SC stitches inside one V-shaped hole. Now we need to crochet one more SC stitch inside this hole. This completes one crochet of the ink stitch, and there will be 2 V's on the side. This completes our second loop of crochet. Then continue crocheting for a third loop. After crocheting the third loop, the product needs to be flipped inside out and then continue crocheting, and the side with the clearer texture inside needs to be used as the display side. Once we have crocheted this loop, please follow the stitch instructions to complete 4 to 15 loops alone. When we have crocheted 15 rounds, it will look like the shape in the video. Next, we learn a third very common crochet stitch called decrease stitch, which we abbreviate to DC. We need to crochet the SC stitch twice first, according to the stitch tips in the upper right corner. Now we'll start crocheting the DEC stitch. We'll mimic the way we did in the video and then crochet it. In this way, we complete a DEC stitch, and then we continue to follow the video to complete the loop. After we have crocheted one DEC stitch, continuing to crochet other stitches requires crocheting in this full V shape as highlighted in the video. Then fill the cotton. Once the filling is complete, we follow the stitching tips in the upper right corner to complete the 17th loop. An 8-inch length of yarn needs to be set aside for stitching after crochet is completed. Then we sewed with a sewing needle imitating the way in the video, requiring a total of 8 stitches. Then pull it tight. Then pass through the sewing center and cut the yarn. This completes the crochet of the body. Next, we crochet one large leaf and two small leaves alone using the stitches we have learned earlier, following the stitch tips. After each leaf is crocheted, you will need to set aside 8 inches of yarn for the stitch. The shape after crocheting should be the same as in the video. Next, we will learn how to sew. In order to make this hole more beautiful, we need to make an extra V shape before sewing, otherwise the shape will be a irregular shape. Please copy the video for the making method. This is the V shape we just made with the sewing needle. This way we have sewn one leaf and need to sew the other 2 leaves in the same way.